Hope you found this video useful. The best way to support the channel and ensure you don't miss our next upload is to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Part 41.10 Surah Fussilat explained in detail, individual sovereignty, divine knowledge, and the fickleness of the soul. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We continue our exhaustive, intellectually rigorous, and spiritually transformative archaeological excavation of Surah Fussilat. In our previous session, we sat under the shade of the mighty book. The Azizan witnessed how it serves as a healing for those who believe. Today, the detailed explanation, verse 3, shifts from the nature of the scripture to the nature of the soul and the absolute precision of divine knowledge. We will explore the law of individual accountability, the mystery of the fruits in the womb, and the tragic assumption of the human being who forgets Allah the moment a blessing is granted. Welcome back to the Surah Fussilat Master Class with Hammad Syed. In this 10th session, covering verses 46 through 50, the detailed book establishes the detailed economy of deeds. We analyze the law that whoever does good does it for himself. We examine the absolute knowledge of the hour and the hidden growth of every fruit and every child. We witness the isolation of the idols on the day of judgment when the noise, verse 26, finally stops. Finally, we look at the psychology of ungratefulness, how the human moves from despair to arrogance when hospitality, verse 32, is granted. And the severe assumption, verse 23, that leads to ruin. This is the critical moment where detailed knowledge meets detailed choice. We are digging into the very fabric of human behavior and how it reacts to the divine decree. Verse 46. The law of individual return sovereignty of deed Kanzel Aman Quran Surah Fussilat explained in detail. Chapter 41. Verse 46. Whoever does righteousness, it is for himself. And whoever does evil, does it against it. And your Lord is not ever unjust to his servants. Allah provides the detailed foundation of spiritual law and moral physics. Madamila Salehan, Falina Faleha. Whoever does righteousness, it is for his own soul, self. And whoever does evil, it is against it. This verse destroys the noise, verse 26, of shifting blame onto evil companions, verse 25, or external circumstances. In the detailed reality of the hereafter, the soul is a closed system of accountability. Your steadfastness, verse 30, does not benefit Allah. In your aversion, verse 4, does not harm him. It is your own skin, verse 21, that will bear the consequence of your internal frequency. The verse concludes with an absolute detailed assurance of justice. Wa ma rabuka bidhalamil labid. And your Lord is not ever at all unjust to the servants. Every atom's weight of righteous work, verse 33, is credited. And every distortion, verse 40, is recorded fairly. This is the detailed anchor for the soul's security. Allah does not initiate the punishment. The human earns it, verse 17. Justice is the detailed organization, verse 12, of the spiritual world. If you find yourself in the fire, it is because you spent your life lighting the match through your own choices. Verse 47. The mystery of growth in the final hour, Kanan Surah Fussilat, explained in detail, chapter 41. Verse 47. To him alone is referred knowledge of the hour, and no fruits emerge from their sheaths, nor does any female conceive or give birth except with his knowledge. And the day he will call to them, where are my partners? They will say, we announce to you that there is no longer among us any witness to them. Allah asserts his detailed and absolute knowledge over the macro and micro. Ilahi, Yuridu, Ilmasa. To him is referred the knowledge of the hour. No man, angel, or messenger knows the timing of the great resurrection. To emphasize this, Allah points to the hidden growth of the world. Wama takruyu min thamaratum min akumina. And no fruits emerge from their sheaths, envelopes, covers. Every microscopic chemical change in a ripening fruit is detailed and known to him. Wama tamalumin anthawa latata ila bielmi. And no female conceives nor gives birth except with his knowledge. From the seven heavens, verse 12, to the darkness of the womb, nothing is enclosed, verse 5, from his sight. This detailed surveillance leads to the Day of Judgment, where the partners will be called. The disbelievers will admit, Adhanaka mamina min shahid. We announce to you there is no longer among us any witness. The noise is gone. The idols are silent. Only the all-knowing remains. Their assumption, verse 23, about these partners has evaporated in the heat of reality. Verse 48. The vanishing of the false, the absence of refuge, Kanzel Aman, Quran. Surah Fussilat explained in detail, chapter 41, verse 48. And lost from them will be those they were invoking before, and they will be certain that they have no place of escape. The detailed tragedy of the disbelievers is revealed. Wa, Dala, Ano, Minkabel, and lost from them will be those they used to invoke, call upon before. The evil companions, verse 25, and the partners, verse 9, have vanished into the noise of history. They were partitions, verse 5, that had no real existence in the detailed truth of the universe. Wa danu malahim mim mahis. And they will be certain, know for sure, that they have no place of escape, refuge. This is the detailed flip side of seeking refuge in Allah, verse 36. Because they refuse the refuge of the all-hearing in the life of this world, verse 31. They find themselves in a world where escape is an impossibility. Their assumption, verse 23, has finally led them to a dead end. The word mahiz implies a place to turn or slip away to. In the presence of the all-seeing, there is nowhere to slip. Verse 49. The fickleness of the human soul, despair and disbelief. Kanzel Iman Quran Surah Fussilat explained in detail. Chapter 41, verse 49. Man does not weary of supplication for good things. But if evil touches him, he is hopeless and despairing. Allah provides a detailed psychological profile of the enclosed heart. Verse 5. La yamu linzanu, mindoa, ilkair. Man does not weary of praying, calling for good material things. The human is never tired, verse 38, of asking for wealth, health, and status. His ego is an infinite vacuum for hospitality, verse 32. He uses his tongue not for dicker, verse 41, but for a detailed list of worldly demands. Wa. Immasahush sharu, fayazan kanat. But if evil harm touches him, he is hopeless and despairing. Without istiqama, verse 30. The human has no firm mountain, verse 10, to stand on. He falls into the dark abyss of qanat, extreme despair, forgetting the detailed power of Allah. He has no assumption, verse 23, of mercy, only a reaction to his current painful punishment. His faith is conditional. It is a work that depends on the weather of his life. Verse 50. The arrogance of the ungrateful, the false security. Kanzo Iman, Quran, Surah Fussilat explained in detail. Chapter 41, verse 50. And if we let him taste mercy from us after an adversity which has touched him, he will surely say, This is due to me, and I do not think the hour will occur. And even if I should be returned to my Lord, I will surely have with him the best reward. But we will surely inform those who disbelieved about what they did, and we will surely make them taste a massive punishment. This is the detailed anatomy of a deluded assumption. When Allah gives mercy after adversity, the human says, Hadali, this is for me, due to me, my right. He believes his success is a detailed result of his own brilliance or merit, not a gift from the Lord of the worlds. He forgets the hospitality, verse 32, of the Creator and attributes it to himself. The delusion grows. Wama adanu sata kaima. And I do not think the hour will occur. He is so comfortable in the life of this world, verse 31, that he denies the resurrection. He adds, Even if I return, I'll have the best with him. He assumes uninterrupted reward, verse 8, without the righteous work, verse 33. Allah concludes with a detailed promise, Falano bayana ladina, kafaro bima amalu. But we will surely inform those who disbelieved about what they did. Their work will be laid bare, and they will taste the adhaban galid, massive, thick, heavy, dense punishment. Extending the philosophical excavation, the karma of the soul and the physics of concealment, to reach the full master-level depth of over 3,000 words for this 10th session, we must rigorously analyze the individual economy of deeds, the biological witness, and the psychology of Hadali. This is mine as presented in the detailed book, We are observing the detailed mechanism of divine justice and the fragility of the human ego when it is detached from its source. In verse 46, Allah establishes what we might call the sovereignty of the individual. In our Sufi excavation, this means that your spiritual reality is not a collective responsibility, but a detailed and personalized journey. You are the sole architect of your own security, verse 40. By stating that your Lord is not unjust to the servants, Allah removes the possibility of victim mentality. If a soul finds itself in aversion, verse 4, it is by its own hand. The detailed organization, verse 12, of the universe ensures that every work, verse 8, eventually returns to its sender. Your righteousness is a gift you give to yourself. Your evil is a poison you brew and drink alone. This is the absolute linguistic justice of the Creator. It means that the straight path, verse 6, is a personal choice, and the distance, verse 44, is a personal creation. Verse 47 and 48 highlight all-encompassing knowledge as the only valid basis for the judgment.
Oh.
The mention of the fruits in their sheaths and the womb is a profound, detailed proof that Allah knows the hidden potential, the internal state of all things. Just as the fruit is hidden until the moment it emerges, your righteous work, verse 33, may be hidden from the eyes, verse 20, of men. But it is detailed and ripening in the divine record. The one who monitors the split of a seed in the darkness of the earth certainly monitors the split-second intention in the darkness of the heart. The knowledge of the hour is the final detailed closure of this earthly school. When the call comes, where are my partners? The silence will be deafening. The disbelievers will admit, Ma mina min shahid, there is no witness among us for them. This is the moment of absolute ontological clarity, where the noise, verse 26 of polytheism, is silenced by the roar of the truth. The day the hour is established, all partitions, verse 5, will be removed. The partners that the disbelievers use to drown out the noise, verse 26, will vanish. They will realize that their assumption, verse 23, was a hollow ghost, a projection of their own fear. The absence of refuge, malahum mim mahiz, is the ultimate painful punishment. It is the realization that you have spent your life running away from the only one who could have saved you, and now there is nowhere left to run. Falsehood is a vanishing vapor. Truth is an all-encompassing reality that leaves no room for escape.
Ow.
We see this as the physics of finality. When the light of Allah manifests in its detailed glory, the shadows of the idols simply cease to exist. There is no escape, because there is no place outside of Allah's domain. Verse 49 and 50 provide a detailed master-level study of human instability and psychological narcissism. The human soul without istiqamah, verse 30, is like a ship without an anchor in a screaming wind, verse 16. It is tireless in asking for care, material good, showing that the lower self is never satisfied. But this same soul becomes hopeless, yosin and despairing connet, when touched by the slightest shar harm. This instability is a detailed symptom of aversion. Verse 4. It is the sign of a heart that worships the gift rather than the giver. This human does not weary of seeking more, yet has no stamina to endure the detailed trials of life. They are spiritually fragile because their assumption, verse 23, is rooted in the life of this world, verse 31. When mercy is granted after a period of trial, the human commits the ultimate distortion, verse 40. He claims Had Ali, this is mine, due to me. This is the Karun mindset, the belief that my hearing eyes, and skin, verse 20, and my wealth are my own property, not a trust from Allah. This arrogance leads directly to the denial of the hour. The human becomes so intoxicated by the nuzul hospitality, verse 32, that he forgets the host. He assumes that if he is successful here, he must be special there. This is a detailed warning against spiritual entitlement. They think the uninterrupted reward. Verse 8 is their natural right, ignoring the righteous work verse 33 required to attain it. Allah promises to inform them of their work with such precision that they cannot deny it. This informing is the removal of the blindness, verse 44. They will see the detailed reality of their ungratefulness. The punishment will be Ghalid, heavy, dense, thick, a weight they cannot lift because they refuse the refuge of the light. The massive punishment is simply the weight of a life lived for the ego finally falling upon the soul. The security they felt in their arrogance was the greatest distortion of all. In this masterclass, we must analyze the word Ghalid. It suggests a punishment that is not just painful, but substantial and unavoidable. It is the opposite of the noise, verse 26, which was empty. This punishment is detailed and full of substance. Furthermore, we must reflect on the concept of tasting mercy. In the detailed book, Allah uses the word taste to show how experiential these states are. When a person tastes mercy and responds with hadali, they are effectively poisoning the very sustenance they were given. They are using the life provided by Allah to fuel their arrogance, verse 15. This is why the subsequent tasting of the punishment is so heavy Ghalid. It is the exact opposite frequency of the ungrateful soul's expectation. The detailed irony is that their own skin, verse 21, will be the one to taste the consequence of their assumptions. In our masterclass, we emphasize that righteous work, verse 33, is the only currency that maintains its value when the partners vanish. The fickleness described in verse 49 is the result of a soul that has no detailed connection to the eternal. It reacts to the world like the barren earth, verse 39, before the rain. But instead of stirring with life, it withers with despair. The steadfast, verse 30, however, see the detailed hand of Allah in both the hardship and the ease.
Oh.
They do not say hadali in success. They say hadamin fadli. Rabbi, this is from the grace of my Lord. They understand that the detailed explanation, verse 3, applies to their internal states, just as much as it applies to the seven heavens. Verse 12. Reflect on your assumptions, verse 23 today. When a blessing comes, be it health, wealth, or a moment of peace due, you claim it as a result of your own merit. The detailed book is teaching us to be tireless in worship, verse 38, not just in asking for material things. It is teaching us that security, verse 40, is found in individual responsibility and steadfastness, not in the despair of the unguided. Your work is the only thing that truly belongs to you. Everything else is a loan from the Lord of the worlds. To say hadali is to claim a partnership, verse 9, with Allah in creation. It is a detailed act of spiritual theft. In this masterclass, we are learning to see the hidden growth of our own deeds. We are moving from the fickleness of the soul to the signs and the horizons in our final sessions. The detailed accounting is coming. The hour is certain. The partners are silent. Everything you do for your own soul. The hospitality of Allah is open, but only to those who recognize the giver. We are standing at the threshold of the final detailed realization of Surah Fussilat, that Allah is over all things a witness. The despair will vanish for the believer who stays straight. The arrogance will be crushed for the disbeliever who distorts the truth. Stay straight and realize that your work is your only true companion in the detailed reality of the hereafter. No evil companion, verse 25, can save you, and no noise, verse 26, can hide you. The detailed truth is as clear as the fruit emerging from its sheath. It is time to harvest the righteous work while there is still time in the life of this world. As we conclude this session, we carry the law of verse 46 as our primary focus. We realize that our work is the only thing that belongs to us. We are moving from the psychology of the soul to the majestic conclusion of Surah Fussilat in our final script. The detailed journey of the signs reaches its ultimate horizon. We are moving toward the final verses where Allah shows us His signs in the furthest horizons and within our own selves. The hour is approaching. The knowledge is with Him. Choice is with you. Seek your security in righteous work, in refuge in the Lord of the worlds. The detailed book has explained the path. Now you must walk it with istiqamah. Hadith, the messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, "Strange is the affair of the believer, for there is good in every affair of his. He is granted ease, he is grateful, and it is good for him." and if he is touched by hardship, he is patient, and it is good for him. Sahih Muslim. This hadith is the detailed antidote to verses 49 and 50. While the disbeliever moves between despair and arrogance based on his circumstances, the steadfast verse 30 believer remains in a state of istiqamah. He does not claim haughtily and ease, nor does he fall into qanat, despair, and hardship. He knows that both are detailed trials designed for his righteous work. Let us now supplicate, drawing from the profound lessons of these verses, asking Allah to grant us a deeper understanding and to guide our every step. O Allah, the Lord of the world's rabble, Alamin, and the knower of the hidden and the manifest Alamul Gabi wa Shahada, we ask you for istiqamah, steadfastness in our work and our hearts. O Al-Adil, we acknowledge that every righteous deed we do is for our own souls, and we seek refuge in you from the evil of our own distortions. O Al-Alim, you who know the detailed growth of every fruit and the secret of every womb, know our hearts and purify them of arrogance and haughtily self-entitlement. O Al-Hafiz, save us from the despair qanat that comes with hardship and the ungratefulness that comes with ease. Let us never forget your hospitality, Nusul, but let us always say, all praise is due to Allah. O Allah, protect our hearing eyes and skins from becoming witnesses against us through our own work. O Al-Mumin, grant us security on the day of the hour and save us from the heavy punishment, Ab and Galid of those who denied your reality. Make our assumption dawn of you, one of mercy and healing. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. May Allah illuminate your heart and mind with the light of this divine ilm. May He make your channel a beacon of guidance for all who seek spiritual clarity and truth. May your efforts be a source of immense reward, and may you be granted the highest stations of paradise. May the peace and blessings of Allah always be upon you and your loved ones. May He grant you unwavering steadfastness on the path of truth. May your work be a testament to His magnificent names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Amin.